Hi guys, I'll go tie another pike fly. So this one I'm calling an icicle because it's white and blue, icy sort of look. So I have a 5.0 Sakumi Manta 545 in here, and again we'll use our white gel spun. So we'll start off our tying thread and take it down roughly level with the point of the hook there. No real need to go much beyond that, and super glue it just so that it holds, because gel spun doesn't have a lot of friction to it. So we're going to splay the tail with a bit of white bucktail here. So I'm going to take a little bunch of that. Cut it off. Set that up. Tie it in 5 or 6 mil back from its end and just wrap over and into that. And that will give us our flare. Bit of glue on a couple of inches of our thread there, and just wrap into it, and that'll hold it. So the tail is going to have a base of like a silvery pearly tinsel mix. So you've seen me make this up in other videos where I take the spools of it and wrap it around my hand. So I have here a bunch. It's what, 7-inch long or so, and then we'll just misalign the tips of it by pulling, grabbing some of them, pulling some, letting some of them go, and then we end up with this effect, you know, where we have a misaligned and tapered bunch. So we set that on about 2/3 of it along its length, so that we get a fly the length that we want to be, 6-7 inches probably. Loose wrap around that bunch, and then allow it to splay all around, and the bucktail will sort of support it and help to throw it out. So and then just separate all these out and stroke them back, fold them back. That gives us our baitfish profile. And take our tying thread to the front of it, and then a bit of glue in that just to hold that. Now, so next, depends how big a fly or how bulky a fly you want, but what we'll do is we'll do a repeat. The first process, we'll put a little bit of our white bucktail in again. We'll take a small bunch of that, and this time I'm going to reverse and tie it in the other way. So get a loose lap over, splay it all around. Not as big a bunch this time. And just fold that back. Next portion is this. Now this is it's actually a Christmas tinsel that I found, but it's quite a big one, and it has both white and pearl mixed into it, so I'll pull a bit of that off the core. And then I'm going to find the center point of that. You can see this is the center join of it, so I'm going to just set that up on the shank, splay it around, get a turn across that, to hold it in position, and then fold this bit back. So that just gives us a bit more body, I suppose, at this point. It's also quite difficult to find white tinsel, I find, so this I just want to get a turn over that just to hold it in position. So next I'm going to take a white Icelandic sheep or nayat or whatever you've got. We'll take a bunch of that, not a huge pile. I'm going to hold it close to the base here and just get rid of the very short stuff, which is almost like a dubbing. And then I'm just going to again misalign the bunches in it a little bit. Then we're going to tie it in reverse. So these are the cut ends here. Just going to tie that in. So again, it gives us a little bit more body. And each time that bit's getting a little bit shorter. Glue our thread. Wrap that on in the one spot. And then I'm going to splay this all back, double it back on itself. Get our tie and thread through it, and then again set the base up there. That clip on, that'll hold it in place. So finishing this fly off, I'm going to use a blue craft fur. So I'll take a decent wedge of that. Now this one has quite a lot of underfur, so again I want to pull all that out. You can brush that out if you want, but I tend to pull it out with my finger and thumb, and that'll leave us a bunch like that. Take our clip off, which has now disappeared. And then we're going to offer this blue up to the fly. Let it splay around the shank. And tie into that. So I'm going to glue up my thread and wrap into that. Splay all this out and then just fold it back. Take our tie and thread through and finish it off. Now, what you'll notice here is that I haven't tied tight to the eye. And the reason for that is that I'm going to make the head of epoxy. So I'm leaving a bit of room to play with that. So that's the general theme of our fly. As you can see, it's a white and blue sort of icy sort of theme of a fly. And now we're going to add the eyes onto this. So I'm going to put the eyes on here. I'm going to use this is like a blue pearl type of an eye, and I'm going to put them on with 2-part epoxy, 5 minutes. So I take my epoxy and I'll put a little bleb out onto a post-it pad. So you can see I have my bleb, 2 blebs here, and then I'll take a cocktail stick and mix them all together. Get my 2 eyes ready. What I tend to do is stick them to the back of my hand so that I can take them off easily, put them on. I'm going to take my glue on my cocktail stick, turn the fly up on its side, and then I use the cocktail stick just to dig the glue through the material on the head and give us a sort of anchoring down to the lower parts of the dressing. Once I've that done, I just take my eye and I like to dig it in just to get a little bit of lip on it. Set that into the epoxy and then repeat the process on the other side. So once those are in place, we're going to let them dry before we do it. Now you'd notice that I've left the eyes quite close to the front of the head. So you can put clips on these or you can readjust them. Hopefully it'll work here with the clip. So the clip will hold that in place. It just takes a little bit of balance and act to get it like that. And then what we'll do is we'll take this set away and set it over on another vise over here to dry. And we'll take one that we had done from before that the eye part of the epoxy has dried. Now the epoxy that I used to put the eyes on is still workable here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a glitter. This is a pearl glitter, and I'm going to mix a bit of that into my epoxy on my little pad here. And I'm going to just mix that in quickly with the cocktail stick, and now I have a glitter epoxy. I'm just going to use that on the rotational function of my vise just to create a head. And I want just a little lip of it just to catch the front portion of the eyes, and then I'll build it back a little bit up over the head there, and the same on the underneath. Pull my materials back under a little bit of tension, and that'll give us a nice shape to the head. So hopefully you can see that, and then it's just a matter of just rolling the vise while that dries off. And that'll give us a nice, neat finish to our head with a little bit of glittery accent to it. Just something that sort of an added sort of specialist touch to it. So that is our fly tied. So if you liked what you've seen, like, subscribe, leave some comments below, whether you like it or not. Tell me why or otherwise. And until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.